Welcome back to the channel, guys. Let's get straight into today's story. London Mayor Sadiq Khan has once again made headlines, and this time it's not for public safety or city projects, but for launching a vicious attack on British patriots in the London Assembly. In a recent session, Khan took aim at citizens and political figures who expressed concerns about immigration, national identity and public safety, labelling them as extremists and painting them as a threat to his vision of multicultural London. But instead of gaining political points, Khan's comments have sparked an intense backlash, leaving me on the defensive and under fire from politicians across the spectrum. Khan's attack seemed designed to vilify ordinary Londoners who are proud of their country, love its traditions and want policies that prioritise the safety and prosperity of British citizens. By branding them as radicals, Khan tried to frame any criticism of his policies as intolerant or extreme. But the problem is simple. Londoners are fed up with rhetoric that ignores their concerns. Rising crime, strained public services and unchecked immigration are real issues, and citizens want solutions, not insults. The response was swift. Members of the London Assembly, including Conservative and Reform UK representatives, tore into Khan, calling his comments divisive and completely out of touch with reality. They argued that instead of engaging in debate or addressing legitimate concerns, Khan chose to attack the character of those who disagree with him. This is exactly the kind of behaviour that drives ordinary people away from politics and makes them distrustful of leadership. What's striking is that Khan's attack didn't just fail to intimidate, it galvanised patriotic citizens. People who felt marginalised or dismissed suddenly had a rallying point. A clear example of a politician prioritising ideology over the needs of the people. Social media lit up with criticism, opinion pieces called out Khan's behaviour, and even some journalists noted that his rhetoric was over the top and counterproductive. The irony is that Khan positions himself as a defender of diversity and inclusion. Yet by attacking British patriots, he is dividing communities and alienating voters. Instead of bridging gaps and finding common ground, he is doubling down on identity politics, drawing unnecessary lines between citizens and political ideology. And it's clear that this approach is politically dangerous. With a growing number of Londoners concerned about local issues like policing, housing and cost of living pressures, focusing on attacks rather than solution is unlikely to win support for him. Now furthermore, Khan's approach underscores a bigger problem in modern politics, the tendency for leaders to weaponise language and silence opposition rather than engage with it. Branding patriotic voices as extremists does not solve policy challenges. It simply stifles debate and polarises communities. The backlash from the Assembly and the public shows that voters are not willing to be lectured or bullied into accepting a political narrative that does not reflect their lived experiences. For citizens, the takeaway is clear. Politicians like Khan may attempt to dismiss or belittle them, but there is a growing resistance to this kind of top-down messaging. People want leaders who listen, act and respect the views of ordinary citizens, not those who smear them for their beliefs. Khan's latest attack may have been intended to consolidate his base, but instead it has highlighted the growing disconnect between political elites and everyday Londoners. At the end of the day, this story isn't just about one speech or one politician. It's about a wider cultural and political battle over who gets to define British values and who gets to say it in shaping policy. Khan's attacks has backfired spectacularly, reminded everyone that ordinary patriots still have a voice and they are not going to be silenced by labels or rhetoric. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want more honest political commentary and don't want to miss what's really happening behind the headlines, hit subscribe now and drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think.